Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Crystal Lee Kennedy, and this is a show that brings you the day's biggest movie news, and of course we give you insight into what it all means. Joining us on this happy Friday is our AMC editor, Mr. John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the show and our new digs here at the Stream Studios in Hollywood, California. And damn, Crystal Lee, did you see this week's episode of Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
How about that ending?
Amazing.
Okay, sorry, we're way off topic. Sorry
All
about
right,
that.
wait, no TV. This is movie news.
movie
Movies,
stuff.
John. Okay, we also have AMC production manager, Mr. Dennison.
Hey everyone, I'm excited because it's Friday and I'm gonna go watch Rush and maybe Captain Phillips with Chris Lee over there.
Woohoo, exciting Friday night. And we also have a very special guest today. First time with AMC Movie News, Mr. Christian Harla from Schmoes Know.
Hello, very excited to be here on Movie Talk. Finally, get to talk movies with you guys. I'm excited.
All right, well, a brand new trailer for the upcoming George Clooney directed film Monuments Men has just hit the web. The true action thriller focuses on an unlikely World War II platoon tasked by FDR with going into Germany to rescue artistic masterpieces from Nazi thieves and returning them to their rightful owners. It would be an impossible mission, with the art trapped behind enemy lines and with the German army under orders to destroy everything as the Reich fell. How could these guys, 7 museum directors, curators, and art historians, all more familiar with Michelangelo than the M1, possibly hope to succeed? But as the Monuments Men, as they were called, found themselves in a race against time to avoid the destruction of 1,000 years of culture, they would risk their lives to protect and defend mankind's greatest achievements. The film stars Clooney, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, Cate Blanchett, Jean Dujardin, who won the Best Actor Oscar for The Artist, Bob Balaban, Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey, and John Goodman. Monuments Men opens in AMC theaters everywhere on December 18th. John, what do you think about the new trailer for Monuments Men?
You know, when I first heard about Monuments Men, the first thing that caught me, it gets my attention obviously because it's the Cloon, Matt Damon working together again. That always seems to be magic. Finally, we're getting to see Jean Dujardin back in something after winning that Oscar for the film that nobody watched. It's really, my wife has me watching Downton Abbey, so it's pretty cool seeing Bonneville in there too. So obviously it's cool. It sounds like a nice concept, but I gotta tell you, watching this trailer, this might be my favorite trailer of the year. It really might be. There was something about it when the way they're explaining as they're walking through that one part of the warehouse, and he's like, what is all this stuff? And she just looks at him and says, people's lives. And it's like, it shook me. It really did, like very, very few trailers do. I am really excited for this. I cannot wait to watch it. December 18th can't come fast enough for me. So what about you, Dennis?
I mean, I thought the trailer was okay. It's definitely a different turn from the first trailer, which was more comedic. And this one focuses more on kind of the drama and the importance of their mission. I know I'm going to relate this to something that most people wouldn't see. I kind of feel like the key to this movie being good is something like with Sideways. You know, Sideways was about wine. I don't care about wine. And I thought the movie was good, but I didn't love the movie because it felt like they were selling this thing to me that I didn't really care about. So art, on the other hand, is a little easier stretch for me to care about. So I think the key for that movie is for them to get the audience to believe, like, okay, this is really important for people to sacrifice their lives for.
You know, I never felt bad about myself drinking Merlot until I watched Sideways. Like, yeah, thanks a lot, Paul Giamatti, for making me feel like dirt. Anyway, Christian.
Look, I've been excited for this trailer since the first one, to be honest with you, too, because to me, the second I saw it, I was thinking Ocean's 11 meets Inglourious Basterds when I saw it. And this trailer agreed with both of you guys in the fact that you should get more heart out of it. And I do like the fact that I'm not the big art guy, but I want to learn more because you're going to tell that's going to be the human element of this story. And you know when you're watching what's going to happen with the great actors you have in it. And you know Bill Murray can turn serious, but yet it's still going to have the comedy in it as well. You have a great ensemble cast. Clooney it's coming out at the right time where they're screaming Oscars at you. Yeah. It's going to be an event. I agree with you. It's one of the most exciting trailers so far, and I'm on board. You know what? This just kind of shows the geek in me a little bit. When I watch this trailer and I think about the synopsis of the film, all I can think about, for those of you who read the Heir to the Empire trilogy, the Star Wars novels that came after Return of the Jedi, the big bad guy in it is Grand Admiral Thrawn, and of course, what was he known for? Grand Admiral Thrawn could tell everything about a culture that he was going to go invade simply by studying their art. What that has to do with Monuments Men, this is a big stretch, I'm not sure. Anyway, what's next?
Monuments Men, Star Wars, whatever, same thing. In a recent interview, actor Michael B. Jordan revealed that he has indeed gone into Lucasfilm to read for the upcoming Star Wars Episode 7. The Chronicle star has found himself to be in high demand, reportedly landing on the wish list for blockbuster franchises like Independence Day 2 and the Fantastic Four reboot. Jordan said the following, "I mean, everybody's going in on this project. They're trying to figure out what they want. That's another incredible franchise. It's pretty crazy. We'll see how it happens." One actor who is not as enthusiastic about the upcoming Star Wars films is Harrison Ford, who just claims that he has not yet made a decision if he wants to return for the new film or not. So, Dennis, what would you think about Michael B. Jordan appearing in the new Star Wars movie?
Oh, I think it'd be great. Michael B. Jordan's a wonderful actor. Him alongside Dane DeHaan, which coincidentally was also in Chronicle with him.
Yeah.
I think those two are of the best up-and-coming actors today. He was great in The Wire, Friday Night Lights, Fruitvale Station. And it'd be nice to see a little color in the new Star Wars episode trilogy. You had Lando Calrissian in the first trilogy. You had Sam Jackson in the second one. So why not Michael B. Jordan in the third?
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny you mentioned Fruitvale Station. I'm late to the party, by the way, in Fruitvale, but I finally got around to seeing it a while ago, and I'm not going to be shocked at all. I'm not going to be shocked if he doesn't get an Academy Award nomination for that film, but I'm not going to be shocked if he does. It's just so powerful. And somebody on my Facebook page today was complaining. It's like, why does he wants to be in Fantastic Four? Now he wants to be in Star Wars. Why does he want? It's not that he wants to be. It's that he is so good. Everybody's going after him right now, and that's the key. So I think he'd be great in it. One of the other interesting things in that story, though, that Chris Lee was giving us was that bull line that Harrison Ford's giving us that he hasn't yet decided. And here's why it's bull, okay? There is no way in hell that Disney and Lucasfilm has developed their script and either have written in the Han Solo character or have not without knowing whether Harrison Ford is coming back. Harrison Ford made his decision months ago if he was coming back. Maybe yay, maybe nay, he's probably going to be there. But either way, he made his decision. Lucasfilm knows what the decision is, and they're developing their movie appropriately. They're not developing their movie, doing pre-production, and going, well, we just hope that Harrison Ford comes. If he doesn't, we don't know what we're going to do. That's not the way this works. He knows. Anyway, Christian. That's
absolutely right, and I think that it's a Disney strategy at this point, because it's even what they did with the Disney Expo, where they were teasing they were going to have information. They didn't have any information. Yeah. There's a plan for what they're doing, and if you notice, all of these three actors that just came out, Chloe Moretz, and I guess you also had Michael B. Jordan, who they all saying the same thing, and that is, oh, everybody's going in and reading, and I had fun. Now they're allowed to talk about their audition because there's rumors. There's a method behind the madness, and Harrison Ford is part of that madness. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be in it. You're absolutely right. He's in the movie. So are the other two. You can't base a movie on the big three, the big trilogy, and not have it, because then your movie crashes and someone else plays Han Solo, and that's a big stink.
Yeah, I agree. All right, folks, listen, we've reached that part of the show called Buy and Sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Chris Lee has a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down. Then Christian, Dennis, and I are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Chris Lee, what do we got?
The long gestating DreamWorks biopic on the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. seems to finally be getting some movement. According to reports, Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx is in talk to play Dr. King, while Academy Award-winning director Oliver Stone is said to be the set director. The film will follow the life of Kings and will mark the first film to be authorized by King's estate, giving the producers the right to utilize King's intellectual property, including his famous I Have a Dream speech delivered during the 1963 March on Washington, to create a definitive portrait of his life. John, buy or sell this proposed biopic on Dr. Martin Luther King?
Oh, long overdue buy. Long overdue buy. Look, I've said before, and I get in trouble for saying this, and I don't really care, I'm not really big into biopics about musicians, AKA people who don't matter. I really don't. I could care less unless, I don't know, maybe they do one about Bono at some point, a guy who actually goes out and tries to save third world countries and rid the planet of AIDS and just tries to do something significant. But when you're talking about a guy like Dr. Martin Luther King, this is a guy who, without using, any type of hyperbole, this is a guy who changed the world. As a young theology student, I used to read some of Dr. King's stuff, actually, not even about his civil rights stuff. So this is long overdue. Now, getting a guy like Jamie Foxx, this is a great move. Foxx is a great actor. And lo and behold, he just so happened to have won his Academy Award doing another biopic. And now you're getting in a director who just happened to win his Academy Award for doing a biopic as well. And you've got two guys who worked together before. Jamie Foxx and Oliver Stone worked together on Any Given Sunday, which is a film a lot of people don't like, but I actually kind of did. So you add on top of that, Stone's got other works that he's done, biopics kind of stuff, Nixon, JFK. I mean, so this seems to me to be a really good fit, a long overdue biopic. Christian, what do you think about this when you hear thoughts about Jamie Foxx playing Dr. Martin Luther King?
I'm selling the story just for this reason. Going back to what we were talking about with Fruitvale Station, I would like to see an African-American director do a Martin Luther King Jr. story. It's not that I don't think Oliver Stone, and also where Oliver Stone is right now in his career, like The Savages, I liked it at the end was a cop-out. W and JFK and stuff of that nature, he's good and that's his thing. But I don't want just a conspiracy about who killed him. I want to learn about Martin Luther King Jr. And I mean, he very well may do that movie.
Right.
But that's the first thing I get when I hear Oliver Stone. On the Jamie Foxx element of it all is, I have a weird relationship with Jamie Foxx in that every time I hear that he's going to be in a movie, I go, oh man, Jamie Foxx, why? And then every time I see him, I go, that guy was awesome. Every time. Django, he was incredible. And Collateral is one of my favorite movies that he did. So Jamie Foxx to me is always that actor that performs and you know he's going to put his heart and soul into the role. So that's, but the Oliver Stone element, I'm selling just by that much.
All right, Dennis?
I'm going to have to sell it, even though the topic matter and subject matter of Dr. King I think is great, and I think there should be a movie for it. I like Jamie Foxx. I think he's a really good actor. I think he'd fit the role. I'm not so sure about Oliver Stone. I mean, I would like to see a movie that's more subtle. Oliver Stone is not a subtle director.
No, he's not.
And so, and then on the fact is like, it's like the first authorized film. Usually when that means, it's kind of like with the Queen thing. It's like, okay, well, we don't want you to say anything bad about our family member or this person that we know, so we have to make sure that we approve everything that you do. And when you get in that territory, then it becomes, a thing where, okay, it might end up being like, oh, we only hear all good things.
Is it whitewashed?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I got to sell it.
With Jamie Foxx, I got to say, you're right. He's great in this, he's great in that, he's great in everything. I still think my favorite role I've ever seen Jamie Foxx play is Mother Effer Jones in Horrible Bosses. I don't know why. Anyway, what's next?
The chat portal buys that one as well, guys, just so you know. Harry Potter veteran Emma Watson is said to be in talks to take the lead role in the upcoming film While We're Young, being directed by her Perks of Being a Wallflower director, Stephen Chbosky. The film will be based on the 2010 novel 29, which is described like this. Ellie Jerome is a young at heart 75-year-old who relates more to her 25-year-old granddaughter Lucy than to her 55-year-old daughter Barbara. Ellie's done everything she can to stay young, and the last thing she wants is to celebrate another birthday. So when she finds herself confronted with a cake full of candles, Ellie wishes more than anything that she could be 29 again, just for one day. But who expects a wish like that to come true? Christian, buy or sell the sounds of While We're Young with Emma Watson in the lead?
I'm going to buy this movie, and I'll tell you why, is because of Stephen Chbosky and Emma Watson's relationship. Now, is this necessarily the movie that I would say, oh, I'm going to go and spend my money right away from seeing maybe an initial trailer? No. Am I the demographic? Probably not. But I believe in teams. I believe in team-ups. And I was the same way with Perks of Being a Wallflower. When I heard about it, I was like, what is this? It sounds silly. And then I saw it, and it was one of my favorite movies last year. I loved it. So I'm definitely buying it because I think if you prove me once that you work well and do a really good collaboration, I'm in. And Emma Watson is proving that she's got skills. She is getting that American accent down. She's doing the right things. But what I will say is, will someone please throw this Ron Weasley kid a bone? Because you have Harry Potter's working, she's working, and this kid's driving an ice cream truck. Let's do something.
Well, Rupert Grint, he's actually, we just talked about him the other day. He's going to be in that new film with Shia LaBeouf, Charlie Countryman, which actually does look pretty good, and I think he seems like he's, but I agree with you completely. When a director and an actor find that they have great chemistry together, I love seeing them go back to the well again and again. There's a reason why Martin Scorsese worked so long with Robert De Niro. There's a reason why Martin Scorsese keeps going back to Leonardo DiCaprio. And there's other actor-director examples that we can go through as well. And when it works, keep working. It's the most important relationship on the set of a film. I agree with you completely. I also agree that she's turned into one dynamite actress, completely in her own right. And this film sounds a little bit like Big meets 13 going on 30, maybe a bit in reverse, but still, it sounds like it could be charming. So yeah, for me, it's a buy. I'm on board. Dennis?
Yeah, I buy it as well, just for the Emma Watson factor. I mean, I think she's a really good actress, and she's developing. And of those three kids, I think she's the one that's going to be the breakout star from Harry Potter. The synopsis does kind of sound like a Disney movie or Nickelodeon movie, but
then one night she makes a wish.
Exactly. But I have faith.
All right.
A brand new poster has just been released for the upcoming film Vampire Academy, set to hit AMC theaters everywhere on February 14th. The film takes place in a secret boarding school for 2 classes of vampires, mortal peaceful vampires and half vampire, half humans, sworn to protect them. Protect them from what? A third category of vampires who are immortal and hunt them. Dennis, buy or sell this poster for Vampire Academy?
So.
Come on!
Oh my God, this poster. First of all, I've never liked anything that's been coming out about this movie, and this poster's terrible. It's just green, and they slapped a little whatever logo on there. They probably spent like 5 minutes on this thing. I mean, if you're gonna sell me that movie, at least make something creative.
I am selling just as fast as he is. I'm sick of these movies. I'm sick of the fact that not only are they're trying to play off the vampire genre now, and it's like it may be playing into all the tweeny stuff too. I don't know. I'm done. I'm bored. I don't want to see any more vampires anymore. Twilight sucked it out of me, no pun intended. I'm done.
I'm gonna buy this.
Wow.
And now hear me
Chet
out.
Lord is blowing up right now.
Hear me out. Look, am I looking forward to this movie? No, I'm not. I'm not the target demographic anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether I'm looking forward to it or not. But I gotta tell you, I like the poster. If I was a producer on a film and they came to me with this, I thought, you know what, this catches my attention. I'm going to remember this image. The next time I even see it out of the corner of my eye, I'm going to know that's Vampire Academy. Yeah, I got no problem with it. It actually caught my eye. So while I'm not looking forward to the movie, I gotta say, I do buy the poster. But Chrisley, none of us at this table happen to be the demographic for the film. You might be, though. What are you thinking about Vampire Academy?
I am 100% the target demographic for this film. I am 100% excited, and I buy the poster because I'm just super excited about it. But I mean, it's hot girls in schoolgirl uniforms. Who doesn't buy that poster? I'm shocked at these boys at the table. Hot girls in schoolgirl uniforms, and they sell. Anyway. Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner has joined the cast of Kyle Newman's Barely Lethal. Turner will join Haley Steinfeld, Jessica Alba, and Samuel L. Jackson in the action comedy. Barely Lethal follows a 16-year-old international assassin, played by Steinfeld, yearning for normal adolescence who fakes her own death and enrolls in a suburban high school. When her former employer, played by Jackson, comes calling, it becomes more extracurriculars than any teenager can handle. John, buy or sell Turner joining Barely Lethal?
I'm gonna buy this, actually. I like her a lot. I still don't believe that any of the cast from Game of Thrones are gonna bust out and have a huge movie career, but I like to see that she's getting an opportunity and a chance, so that's pretty cool. And overall, look, I really like Kyle Newman. He did this little film that a lot of people didn't see called Fanboys. That I thought was really kind of special. And what he did with the very little that he had to work with in that film, I thought was really nice. And I just kind of like the sound of it. It sounds a little bit like a few other things that are coming down the pipe at the same time, but I like the cast, I like the general concept of it, I like the director, so overall for me it's a buy. Dennis?
Yeah, I buy it as well. I am a big fan of Game of Thrones, and I think that she does a good job on that show. I hopefully, because her character on that show is super naive and by her own character's words, really, really dumb. Hopefully she plays a character that's not like the one on Game of Thrones. That way she doesn't get typecasted in that type of role. So yeah, I think it's a good move. And I'm just wondering how big of a role she's going to have in the movie.
Christian?
Yeah, I think I buy her in the role. The movie, I don't know if I'm sold on yet, but yeah, I absolutely want to see more Game of Thrones actors branch out. I like what she does on the show. I'd like to see more of what she's able to do in a certain role like that, and it's not a period piece, obviously, or fantasy period piece, if you will. But yeah, I'm excited for it. The Jessica Alba thing kind of throws me off because of how quality of a movie it's going to be. I don't know, but as far as her goes, I encourage her, and I want to see what she's doing.
Yeah, and Haley Steinfeld, like we can't, like ever since I saw her in True Grit, I mean, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt for at least 10 more years, and then we'll see how things go. All right, folks, listen, we've reached that part of the show known as Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you would like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Now, every day we pull a couple of questions out of the mailbag and we address them on the show. And listen, if you're watching live right now, throw in some questions there too, because when we're done the show, not when we're done the show, at the end of the show, we're going to take some time to take some questions from the chat board as well. But right now, Chrisley's got a couple of messages pulled out of the mailbag. So Chrisley, what do we got?
Chris Mueller writes, "Hey AMC movie crew, really love and enjoy the show. I was wondering, can Gravity be the first sci-fi film to finally win a Best Picture Oscar? I know other great sci-fi films have been nominated, but none have actually won. Does Gravity have a shot to end that trend? Thanks."
No. No, this won't be the film to do it, and I'm not lamenting that fact either. Look, if you watched the show the other day, you know how much I loved Gravity. I had such a good time. I highly recommend it to anybody. It's a thrill ride. But now if we're going to talk about Best Picture at the Oscars, you want to see more of a complete package. Look, I said before that my one criticism about Gravity was that, and this didn't affect my enjoyment of the film, but was that it felt more like the third act of a movie as opposed to one complete movie. You know, it felt like the last part of a bigger scope movie. Now we get to the last part of the film where it's the mad dash to try to get back to Earth. There's not really a narrative that runs through the movie. And when there are parts where, you know, they're sitting down and talking or she's just talking to herself, I didn't find the dialogue to be particularly strong, which is odd because, you know, Cuarón, you'd think he's known for great narrative and great dialogue and directing that, and I find that those were actually two of the weaker parts of Gravity. So look, it's a great movie, great experience. I had a blast watching it, but do I think it's an overall package enough to warrant a Best Picture? I wouldn't argue if it got nominated, but I don't think it deserves to win Best Picture, so I don't think it will. Dennis, what do you think?
I think it has a small shot, not a huge opportunity, but I think it'll squeak in with a nomination, but the percentage of chance of winning, I don't think is that good. I actually really liked the movie. However, it wasn't like in my top 3 of the year. So, yeah, if it won, I wouldn't be upset, but it's definitely not something I'm like pushing for.
Christian?
I do think it has a chance. Do I think it's going to win? I think it's too early to say because we don't know what else. The other movies haven't really come out yet. But I'm on the side that I think it's a near perfect movie, and the reason why I'm going towards Alfonso Cuarón and what you said before, as far as he's normally known for all this great development. She's in space, so it's very hard to do so much with who she's calling and how much. I think he gave us as much as we possibly could get from the scenario that we were in. But again, I just couldn't take my eyes off it. I know that a lot of people, though, do feel the way that you do. Will that hurt it with Academy voters? Probably. And I think down the line, I think we're going to see a nomination for sure. Winning is very hard to say right now.
All right, what else we got?
Steve Walker writes, with Disney Marvel acquiring back the rights to properties such as Blade, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and The Punisher, will we ever see them on the big screen again? Correct me if I'm wrong, but apart from Ghost Rider, all the films previously with these characters were R-rated, as they should be. But Disney hasn't, as far as I'm aware, produced an R-rated film before. Will they step outside the box and do them R-rated, or will they make them PG-13, or not even do them at all?
Well, just to correct something there, Disney has produced many R-rated films. Now, just like they produced Avengers under their Marvel banner, they're doing Star Wars under their Lucasfilm banner. They have had 2 other companies. They still own Miramax, I believe, but they had Touchstone Pictures, they had Miramax, and they put out a lot of R-rated, bring on the filthy kind of stuff under those particular banners. So Disney is not shy about putting out R-rated stuff, and they'll do it through their appropriate channels. But would they do it through Marvel? Well, here's the real challenge when it comes to that kind of stuff. Marvel, aka Disney, whenever you put out, because they've created this shared universe now, right? If they do a Blade movie, assumingly they're going to make it a part of the shared Marvel universe. If they do a Ghost Rider movie, it's going to be part of the shared Marvel universe. Here's the thing, you can now not just make a movie with its own tone. You have to make these movies, since they're in a shared universe, that share the same tone as the other films. Because look, while they are different films, sure, the tone of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Avengers, they have one consistent tone, and that's a strength. So if you suddenly do Blade now, you have to create a Blade film that fits into that universe they've already created, and that ain't an R-rated universe. So I think there is a 40% chance that we will see Marvel/Disney produce Blades or Ghost Riders or whatever, but I think there's a 100% chance that if they do, it'll probably be in the PG-13 rated universe. And Christian, how do you see it?
I agree with you, although I think that the movie you're going to see also in a PG-13, because if you look at the beginning of Iron Man 3, there's a very dark tone in there that they got away with.
Yeah, it really did.
Avengers had some dark moments here and there. It was fluffy for the most part, but they had some dark moments. I think that if you're going to do a PG-13 movie, the one you're going to see is probably Daredevil, because the last one was such a train wreck. It was the last one was a mess.
I liked it.
Oh, it was a mess. and it just left it was one of the reasons that they're able to do another one. And I think that Blade, you still have Wesley Snipes in your mind when you think of him right away.
Really do.
And Daredevil, you're okay. And now the fact that Ben Affleck is Batman, you can get away with the fact, he was Daredevil too, because you're just thinking of him as Batman. So I think Daredevil's probably more realistic. Probably not going to happen.
Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, Disney, the one movie I think of doing R movies, they did Pretty Woman. under the Touchstone banner.
Right,
So
yep.
yes, Disney has done that. As far as doing those movies, I think the only one out of those three that would lose a lot by going PG-13 is Punisher. I think you can get away with the Daredevil. I think the first Daredevil is PG-13, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And Ghost Rider and I think Blade, I think you all can do PG-13. Punisher, though, I think it's part of his character to just murder criminals. So I think you can't get away with that one. They could create another brand, like a Marvel adult brand. I mean, they won't call it that because that sounds like a
In its own
a-
separate universe,
Yeah.
separate from the Avengers universe.
Yeah. So maybe they'll do that, but we'll see. I mean, it's money,
Well, they have darker tones for some of the Star Wars movies as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
There's
very darker tones.
There's a lot. Like if you want to go to the Darth Bane trilogy, where they rumored they're going to do Old Republic stuff. If they decide to do maybe something like you said, another banner where they can do more adult films, I think that would be a good move for them, to be honest, because they can explore stuff like that and maybe get away from just that stigma of, they just do kids stuff. That maybe eventually they can do that. I think it would work.
Yeah, remember though, you can get away with a lot in PG-13.
You can, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
so,
but not Punisher stuff.
No,
You
not
can't-
Punisher.
yeah,
You know
no.
that brings it. I don't think that Ray Winstone version got, not Ray Winstone,
Ray
Stevenson. I don't think that version got the love it deserved. I had so much fun. That when he breaks in there and he's killing everybody, I had a lot of fun with that movie. But you're right. I think you can go darker without necessarily going rated R.
Yeah.
And really, that's where Marvel wants to stay. They want to get that huge audience in there. All right, folks, so listen, we're going to take some time now. If you're watching this recorded, we do this show live every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Los Angeles time. And if you are watching us live right now, we're going to take a few minutes now to take questions from the chat board live. Crystal Lee's been monitoring and talking on the chat board this whole time, not paying attention to anything we're saying. And she's got some questions pulled out right now. So, Crystal Lee, what do we got?
No clue anything they said except that Christian and I are no longer friends because I love Daredevil. But I do have a question. Thomas Connors would like to know, hey guys, love the show. Question, if Tarantino ever made a superhero film, how do you think it would turn out and what character or group do you think he'd be interested in?
I've thought about this before. If Tarantino ever ended up doing a superhero film, I have a feeling while it would be better, it would be really in the line and in the tone of Hitchcock. I mean, that's kind of the feeling I get. I don't see him doing a Thor movie. I don't see him doing a Man of Steel. But if he were to do one, I think it would probably fall under the terms of a Hitchcock, which I think was better than most of us remember it being. It's just that a lot like Savages, it had a pretty bad third act.
Yeah.
That really soured it for a lot of us. But if you watch the first two acts of Hitchcock, I actually thought it was pretty good. And I think that's what Tarantino would do. Dennis?
Yeah, he would definitely do something that's original. He wouldn't take a Marvel or DC property. He would invent his own superhero that has some twisted, messed up, version, and obviously it'd be rated R, it'd be bloody, there'd be swearing and all kinds of stuff. So I actually would be excited if he did something like that, but who knows?
Christian?
I agree with Dennis in the fact that he probably would do something that we've never heard of, or a smaller graphic novel, or something along those lines of someone that was a superhero. But if I was able to choose one, let's go back to our previous story, and I'd give him Blade because he's great with swords.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, he would do something fun with that.
And put Christoph Waltz in it.
Yeah.
Put Christoph Waltz in it, sold.
Yeah.
All right, Christy, what else we got?
Ricky Kinch just wants to know, should Joss Whedon remake the 92 movie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Since the movie takes place before the show, people wouldn't have had to catch up in order to understand the movie. And have Chloe Grace Moretz as Buffy?
No, move on.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Whedon has moved on. Plus, he doesn't even own the rights to it. So he has no choice in the matter, even if he wanted to be involved with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And they were trying to get a Buffy reboot made a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but they didn't invite Joss Whedon to be a part of it. And even if they did invite him to be part of it, he's moved on. He wants new things. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate that he's been dying to get involved in. And signing up for that 3-year deal with Avengers and with Marvel up to Avengers 2 has kept him from doing a lot of stuff that he also wants to do. He's got a lot of pull in Hollywood right now to get these smaller projects that are passion projects of his approved by any studio he goes to. He's not going to want to waste this time by going back to old properties, I don't believe. So I don't think so, and I wouldn't want him to. Christian, what about you?
I agree with you. He's not going to go back to Firefly. He's not going to go back to Buffy. It's like he obviously loves the fact that he was able to build his career and get his fan base from those movies. But yeah, he's sucked up in the Marvel world for a very long time. I mean, he's got, even those stories about how he was collaborating and helping out on Thor recently, they need him for everything. Going back to what you said before, John, in that everything has to fill this narrative. He's the main guy of the narrative. You have to ask Joss Whedon about everything. He doesn't have time for Buffy. Christy Swanson wants to know the Buffy movie, but he does not.
No, I don't think it serves any purpose to do a Buffy movie because, people who are fans of Joss Whedon, they're probably reading the comic books extended that universe, and so I don't see a reboot or a remake doing anything. I do disagree with you that I think he has a special place in his heart for Firefly.
I
I
think
think he's going to come back to it, though?
If he could.
If he gets the ability to,
yes.
I think he would.
I think if he has enough pull, he would do it.
I think from what I read with him too, he wants to move on from it, leave it where it was. He was able to come back and make the movie, and then it's look. And eventually, in 10, 15 years, if he's able to do it, is it a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. But I just think right now, it's the farthest thing from his mind.
See, I remember watching that at Comic-Con last year. He did that special. Was it the 10th anniversary of Firefly panel where they had all the cast, and Whedon came out, and that room packed. It was crazy. And listening to him talk about, I believe he said he would desperately love to go back to that world. Of course, it would have helped if some of us went to go see Serenity when it was in the theaters, because that movie was awesome and it didn't make very much money. But if he gets the opportunity, I think he would. But I don't think the opportunity is going to avail itself.
It's time right now. He's going to be sucked up into Marvel for a very long time.
All right, let's take one more, Chris Lee.
We have Fred Jones, which I know that I'm not saying that right because it's spelled very different. But will we ever see a Shazam standalone film? He's a great hero who also has a great backstory and great villains. Will we see this anytime soon? Bring on the filthy.
Soon? I don't know. But 2 years ago, they tried. They tried to get a Shazam / Captain Marvel film going, and The Rock was signed on to play Black Adam. And The Rock was excited about it, and then much like The Rock's Spy Hunter movie, which was in development for like 3 years, it just kind of vanished, and then it never happened. Maybe because Warner Brothers was finally starting to get their act together and had a specific direction they want to go in. If Batman vs. Superman is the success that we probably all believe it's going to be, I think it's inevitable within the next 5 years we will see Shazam on screen, either in a JLA movie or in a standalone, probably more like in a team-up movie rather than his own standalone film to start. But I think we'll see him on the screen eventually, just probably not within the next 2, 3, 4 years. Dennis?
Yeah, I don't think soon. JLA maybe, but the standalone, I don't see it happening. But I do hope that they do something with him in Superman like they did in Kingdom Come, the graphic novel.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome. But yeah, it's way too early for that.
Christian?
I think there's other characters they have to focus on first. And I think that the other thing, too, going into the reason when Warner Brothers was developing the He-Man movie, they made sure to call it Masters of the Universe because He-Man doesn't play. Shazam is a hard sell name-wise, especially in this serious world, more serious tone that they're going with. But he is a cool character. Will he show up? I think it'll be a long time because they have other characters, Flash, Wonder Woman, they have all these people, the more recognizable ones first, and then the more comic book fans will see Shazam later on.
I agree. All right, folks, so listen, that'll do it for us. We've run all out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank, first of all, those who are joining me today, sitting to my immediate right, the production manager for AMC Movie News, Mr. Dennis Zen. Dennis, where can people find you online?
You can find and talk with me on Twitter. That's @ThinkHero.
And of course, our very special guest here today, who I believe is going to be back again next week as well, one of the co-hosts of Schmoes Know, Mr. Christian Harloff. Christian, where can people find you?
Right here on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/schmoesknow and subscribe there, and I'll talk movies with you.
And our host today, who is chatting with you guys all day and ignoring everything that I say, which is pretty much par for the course, is Chris Lee Kennedy. Chris Lee, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me, as always, in the comment section and on Twitter @ChrisLee.
And listen, guys, once again, the most important part of the show is absolutely not what we have to say. It's what you have to say. Make sure you jump on down to the comments section, leave your thoughts on any or all the topics we discussed here today. Agree, disagree. That's the best thing about being a film fan is that it's all subjective. Don't forget to head on over to www.amctheaters.com for your theater, showtime, and movie ticket information. A lot of great films in theater right now. And you can find me on various social media channels, just @JohnCampia. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Until Monday, have a great weekend. My name is John Campia for AMC Movie News, and until then, bye-bye.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.